All right, everybody, we are live back for a Q&A, have a chat about online business, affiliate marketing, making money online. Camera's all funky today. For some reason, I look like maybe need to cover this light up over here. It's way too bright. But yeah, I just figured I would get on here, do a weekly or bi-weekly Q&A, see how everybody's doing, see how everybody's online business is coming along. Been super busy the last few weeks, rolling out new offers, coaching. Been doing a lot in my private buyers club. For those of you that don't know, I have multiple Facebook groups. One of them is for my students, and I've been going very heavy on getting them some one-on-one time and doing coaching calls and trainings in there, so I can make sure I can get everybody results. So yeah, just figured I would get on here, do a live, and I probably said that like 10 times already, so I'm sorry for repeating myself. The group has been steadily growing, lots of new members in here, lots of people who are looking to start and build their online businesses, and that's absolutely awesome. Starting and building an affiliate marketing business has absolutely changed everything about my life by far. I used to work in barely over minimum wage construction jobs. It's all I ever worked in before I started doing online entrepreneurship or dived into my journey online. No prior experience, and I was able to build a full-time income while working a full-time job, a couple hours a day, maintaining and focusing on my business. It's definitely one of the most rewarding decisions I've ever made, was building my online business. It's been absolutely life-changing. So I know I am totally rambling, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to start dropping them. We'll get them answered. How you guys can get started, what it is. I know there's a lot of fairly new people in the group, so I know quite a few of you might not even understand or know what I do or how to do it or anything like that. I've been leveraging a lot of Facebook Reels, which is bringing a lot of cold audiences, which is great. But it's also a lot of the people aren't necessarily even aware of what or how this online business model works. So in a nutshell, I'm big on personal branding, teaching people how to build personal brands that revolve around, whatever they want, really. You create content and then preferably sell. Creating content will in turn build an audience of people interested in what you're talking about, interested in a specific subject, and then you can sell relevant products to that audience, right? Me, I promote high ticket products. I usually recommend selling high ticket products like online courses, digital programs, mainly because it's going to make hitting your income goals a lot easier, right? If you're selling a physical product and it's paying you $1 in commissions, you need to make thousands of sales every month to leave your day job. Versus if you're selling a product that pays you $1,000 in commissions, you would only need to make a couple sales. A lot easier to obtain, especially as a beginner. And it's not any harder to sell more expensive stuff. It's just a different audience. So what's a good book to read? Depends on what you're looking for, right? What types of books or what you're looking to consume. Some of my favorite book series right now has been Dan Kennedy's books. I've been reading a lot of these lately. I'm in a coaching program from Jacob Karras, and he's huge on these books. So he's actually been sending me a ton of these books, more than I can keep up with, actually, thinks I read a book every day. Money related, I would probably one of the most influential books when it comes to finances and becoming financially literate was probably Rich Dad Poor Dad. I feel super basic for even saying that because everybody talks about this book. But in my opinion, coming from the background that I grew up in, I come from a family of blue collar, no entrepreneurship, no, you go work at a job and then that's all you do. So reading Rich Dad Poor Dad was actually a huge light bulb moment in my life, right? It made me realize a lot of different things, that people actually see money differently, right? That wealthy people utilize money as a tool to make more money, right? So that was one of the biggest books that I would recommend anybody to read, especially if they're looking to embark on any form of entrepreneurship. That's whether you're online, offline, whatever you're really trying to do. I would recommend picking up that read. It's by Robert Kiyosaki. And he has tons of books, right? That's all he talks about is financial literacy and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be my recommendation as far as a book to read. But as you can see, I have lots of books back there, always reading something, trying to grow and build my business, especially if you're like looking to get started in new things or learn new skills and you don't have necessarily lots of money to invest. Books can be a great way to learn and get your foot in the door and learn things that aren't necessarily readily available. They are readily available because they're in the books, but that's a big thing. A lot of people, when they go to school, they get out of college or they get out of something, that's kind of like where they stop learning. You know, a lot of people don't necessarily continue to progress their education. You know, and that was one of the biggest shifts that I made in my life, was continuing and pursuing growth and just everything. I would say that's probably a huge reason why the last few years, like when the pandemic hit and everybody was like, their lives were going through all these crazy times and things were wild for a lot of people. It was actually probably like the best couple of years I ever had in my entire life. I grew insane amounts, not only in my business, but in my personal development, my actual life, my mindset, just everything about me in general really grew since COVID, well, before that, but yeah, totally rambling about books, but let me see if we got any other questions coming in. So the biggest thing is, like, I've been seeing a lot recently is, sorry, get scrolled off super easy. So a question I've been getting a lot recently is like, what types of content do I create? What do I create content on? And it depends on the platform that you're on, right? I'm big on Facebook. I create a lot of content on Facebook. That's what I primarily teach. That's what I'm primarily excel at, and what I enjoy teaching people is Facebook. So when it comes to creating content on Facebook, it's not like other platforms, right? Where you go and you start a blog or you start a YouTube channel, you have to do content on a specific subject. In reality, when you're doing organic Facebook and you're creating content on Facebook, you can virtually just share your story. You can talk about yourself, your experiences. I mean, that's the beauty of building a personal brand, is you can talk about yourself. You know, you can talk about things that you're doing in your life, things that you're experiencing, investments you're making, mistakes you've made. There's so many ideas that you can do. Like there's infinite ideas for content, right? And that's why I prefer Facebook specifically. Is it's less strict with content. You can throw different things at the wall, and it doesn't have to be overly complicated. I feel like a lot of people really overcomplicate the process of creating content, especially on Facebook. When in reality, the most basic Facebook posts, like 3-4 lines of what I like to call lead generation content, are actually what pull a lot of revenue in. They actually perform extremely well. What book to learn about investments? If you're talking about like stocks or crypto or any investments like that, I honestly can't give you a good advice. I don't necessarily play around with virtually any investments outside of growing my own business. I mean, I do have money in crypto and stocks and all that type of stuff, but it's not something I actively research or take part in. I did make a bunch of money on crypto, but it was completely dumb luck. Where else do you share your experiences for your personal brand? What are your favorite investment? So, like, I have content everywhere, right? I have content on Facebook, my Facebook group, my blog, my YouTube channel. I have different master classes. I have a plethora of places that I create content and build connections with people. almost everywhere, realistically, but the majority of my stuff is on Facebook. That's where I connect with a lot of people. That's where I put most of my energy into. What are your favorite investments? As far as like growing my business, I've made serious amounts of investments in my business over the last years. You know what I mean? It actually dawned on me. I actually sent an email out this morning that I've actually spent more in the last year than I would have made working at a job annually. You know, I've spent just about $30,000 this year on my business. Most recently, I jumped into a year-long coaching program with, you know, multiple seven-figure marketer. That's absolutely changed my life. So that's probably one of the biggest and one of my most influential investments as of lately. You know, getting in and getting support, getting into a coaching program with somebody who is absolutely killing it. So look forward to what is to come in the coming months and the next year. So that's probably one of my favorites. And, you know, I've bought basically everything that they've ever created. Let me see. Sorry. What do you do? What is your content? Can you put it on TikTok? I mean, I have hundreds of videos on TikTok already. You know, I've been putting daily TikTok videos out for probably a bit over a year. What I do is I have a personal brand. I help people learn and build online businesses of their own through content creation, and then I help them monetize their audiences that they build through that content with high ticket info products like courses, whether that's courses they partner with as an affiliate or courses they create themselves, right? That's primarily what I do, primarily what I help people do. I sell a wide range of products ranging from master classes, coaching and consulting, digital assets of my own, programs, various ways to monetize and various things that I do. But in a nutshell, that's basically the easiest way to explain what I do. I help people build online businesses of their own, usually through content creation, whether that's creating content on Facebook, creating TikTok videos. And as you create content, you build an audience of people, you can monetize that audience with programs or products, right? So basically, in a nutshell, what I do. I've been doing that for quite some time now. I've been full-time for a bit over a year. I've been in the online space for about 4 years now. I started with Amazon FBA, which is where you sell products on Amazon. I then moved into social media marketing, and I ran a digital marketing agency for about a year where I was selling paid ads as a service to local businesses, doing odd jobs on Fiverr and Upwork, landing as many random gigs that I could. That I did that for quite a while. But I got extremely burnt out on the customer service aspect of it. I was running paid ads for local businesses, having to acquire new clients, delegate all of their needs and all of the things that they wanted to happen in their business, their funnels, all of this different stuff. So then I ended up transitioning into what I'm doing now, which is affiliate marketing, selling other people's products on commission. And then I kind of went all in with that business model. I started a blog and I went crazy with my blog. I wrote an insane amount of blog posts in like 8 months. I think I wrote like 5 or 6 books worth of content, like actual books. There's like 286,000 words on my blog. So I wrote a lot of words, right? I wrote a lot of articles. And then I transitioned my business again. I moved into the high ticket space, selling more expensive products, doing one-to-one sales, you know, selling to people directly in Messenger, getting in contact with people and actually presenting products to them instead of trying to automate my entire business before I even had a business operating, right? That was the big thing. I definitely need a haircut. That's totally random, but yeah, so that's when I pivoted my business into a more hands-on approach, going out and selling products myself. And then obviously mixing in more automations as my business is already growing, and things like that. This book right here, No BS Time Management from Dan Kennedy. You can get this book on Amazon or anywhere really. Just Google it. He's got a lot of books. Dan Kennedy This one is about time management for entrepreneurs. It's all about like time blocking and stuff like that. What would you tell a beginner struggling to provide value to their leads? One sec, sorry. So the biggest thing I would, there's a couple different dynamics to that. So if you're struggling to provide value with their leads, my dog, sorry, again. Come on. Okay, so the biggest thing is, there's different. So I feel like a big thing is a lot of people will cross mix what value can be interpreted as, right? There's so many different variables when it comes to actually providing value. It could be anything. It could be providing value to your audience, could be anything. It could be changing a belief, a mindset shift, talking about your own story, inspiring them. And I think a lot of people get stuck in the notion that you have to like create lead magnets or ebooks or all of these resources, and that's the only thing that can be considered value. But in reality, you can virtually spin anything to be value, right? Doing a Q&A, doing a call, doing a training, anything, right? Talking about your story. And then also I would say, I would be careful, depending on what you're promoting. I can't see your picture, so I don't know who you are. But I would be careful with providing value, because you can actually provide too much value depending on what you're promoting. I know that's backwards to what a lot of people will tell you. But a big mistake I made in in my business for a long time is I was giving too much. I would give everything away for free, and then I would wonder why people weren't buying things from me. And that's because I was just giving anything and everything away, right? So don't be afraid to make offers, right? Put a barrier on your time, stuff like that. So you're promoting Freedom Breakthrough. So it would depend on, what's your marketing position? Like how are you promoting it? What pain points is your product solving? What pain points is your offer solving? And really highlighting that in your content, right? Talking about that and making it known that that's what you're doing. That's what you are solving. And then the biggest thing I would recommend is just start posting content consistently, right? If you're posting daily, you're posting on, preferably, if you're posting on a platform daily, you're going to nurture those relationships. You're going to build relationships with that audience. And that's the biggest thing is I see a lot of people is they'll post every once in a while. They'll post like every other couple of days. They'll post, twice a week. Ideally post every single day. And as you're building your audience or your friends list or whatever you're doing, it's going to establish relationships, right? If you're showing up consistently in somebody's life or on these platforms for people, that is valuable, right? You're talking about different things you're learning, strategies that you're doing, experiences you're going through. Those are building connections with people. And in reality, as an affiliate, that's all you're doing. You're selling yourself and you're monetizing on the relationships you have with other people, right? You are monetizing the audience. So I can't see who you are specifically on the live, or otherwise I could give you personalized feedback, but I can't actually see who you are. If you're watching on TikTok, if you're looking to get started, there's a couple of resources inside of my profile you could check out. That's where I'm stuck. Been posting on TikTok for 8 months, 2 a day, and TikTok doesn't seem to work. I'm going to switch over to Facebook organic. So TikTok's inconsistent, right? And I still post TikToks every day, but it's very inconsistent. With TikTok specifically, you have to kind of find a type of content that works for you, right? Nobody at least from my experience, and I've taken multiple profiles, multiple TikTok profiles to quite a few thousand followers, you have to find out a specific type of content that works for your profile, right? And it's not like you're going to get it's not like everybody tells you. You can go do a TikTok video, you can model what someone else is doing, and you're going to go viral, and you're going to continue to go viral. You have to find a type of video or a type of content style that works for your specific profile, and you have to do more of that, right? Doing series and doing different types and variations of content. But me personally, yeah, I mean, TikTok is very inconsistent, right? It's some videos get a ton of views, some videos get a little amount of views. It's just, at least in my experience as well, it hasn't been as consistent as like, you know, Facebook, where the majority of my sales come from. That's where 90% of my sales come from. What do you mean when you said organic? Organic is free content creation. When I say that's like organic and then paid, right? Paid ads are running paid ads, running any type of paid campaign. Organic is like free content creation, creating content, building an audience from that content, and then, you know, growing your business that way. That's usually the route I recommend everybody start with, because then you can move into paid ads after you already understand why people are buying things, how to do things. You understand marketing, copywriting, all these other components that are probably confusing if you're just starting. But starting with organic lets you focus on that type of stuff. There's a lot of moving parts to running paid ads. Let me see if there's some other questions on here on TikTok. I mean, I'm a big advocate on Facebook. I know some people don't like the style, but it's my preferred method, and I am a huge advocate for it. You can be in control. It's not like other platforms where you put out a post and you sit on your hands. If you want to make sales on Facebook, you have the ability to do that. You can, and I'm not encouraging anybody to go spam groups or spam people's inboxes or anything like that. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Not at all. But you can be in control of your sales, right? You can actively go out and you can get in contact with people who are looking to buy things, right? Usually, if you're not getting the results and you are leveraging Facebook, it's usually because you're not putting in the work, right? Unlike with other platforms, you can post content, you can show up daily for months or years and not grow, right? And that's just the reality of the situation, because not every video or everything that you do, especially on search traffic or, viral traffic like TikTok and stuff like that, you're waiting for algorithms to pick you up. You're waiting for your content to get picked up. Facebook is a kind of a different ballgame. You know, you can actively go build your own audience. You can build your audience on your own terms. You can cherry pick who you want to put on your friends list, who you want to engage with, who you want to build in your pool of people. And then you can directly get in contact with people and present offers to them, right? You can pull them out of your audience, obviously. There's a couple layers to it, but you can do that on your own terms. It's not like you just put out something and then you just wait. And then you're just like holding your breath until a sale comes. And that's where a lot of people live in their business, right? They create content. They don't really have any control. They kind of just sit around. If they make a high ticket sale, great. If they don't, great as well, I guess, right? So that's why I'm big on Facebook. You know, that's what I preach. I also practice what I preach. That's where 90% of, maybe even more of my income comes from, right? Is from Facebook. Super simple processes, building out Facebook posts, you know, putting out offers, shooting a couple messages back and forth, presenting an offer to people, and then closing sales, right? That's so when switching over to Facebook organic, how many posts a day and how long in between each post? So my recommendation is going to be posting twice a day, right? One on your Facebook profile, like on your actual personal profile, and then two in your group. And I would recommend having different posts. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing the exact same post in each. You can cycle between the content on different days, but you also want to The biggest emphasis that I would put on it if you are starting to grow or switch into organic Facebook would be putting a very big emphasis on growing your own group. Groups are absolutely amazing. They grow by themselves. It's easier to close sales because you can get market research. You can qualify people before you even talk to them if you have your own community. So twice a day, one on your profile and one in your group. As far as like time, I haven't really tracked or worried about that. And then if you have, like, maybe you're the same person that was commenting earlier. If you have been creating TikToks, like if you've already been creating TikToks before or previously, I would highly recommend you jump on Facebook Reels right now. You can absolutely explode your organic Facebook results leveraging TikTok content. And I mean, it blow up. I mean, I've had multiple videos that didn't do very good on TikTok. They broke 1 million views on Facebook, and it's significantly increasing the exposure to my Facebook posts, my group growth, tons of other components. And I'm literally just repurposing TikTok videos I've already created. So if you're looking to get into organic Facebook and you've already been creating TikToks, it's a very unique opportunity. Not a lot of people are doing it, and it's an awesome way to start getting exposure to what you're doing on Facebook. And then obviously as you're posting videos as well. Isn't Facebook Reels the same as IG Reels? Yes, but there's two different ways that you can post them. So if you're doing organic Facebook and you're doing marketing on Facebook, you're creating posts on Facebook, you want to post the Reels directly from Facebook. And the reason for that is if you're posting them from Instagram, if somebody wants to go click your profile and then they want to see what you're doing, it's going to push them back to Instagram. Versus if you're posting them directly from Facebook, if they click on your profile, they're going to take you to your Facebook profile, which is then going to get reach on your organic Facebook posts that you're putting out, the lead gen posts, the content that you're putting out on your Facebook profile. So technically they are the same thing, but you can post them from either place. And I would recommend, if you're doing Facebook, post them from Facebook. So long-winded answer. Yes, they are the same, but I would recommend posting them from Facebook so that way you can get exposure to your own stuff on Facebook. You can keep everything in-house. And I've personally been having a lot more success with Facebook, right? I've been posting things on Reels, on Instagram Reels, and on Facebook. But the ones on Facebook that I'm posting directly on Facebook are absolutely blowing up. I think I've grew my followers on my Facebook page, or my Facebook profile, sorry. I think that's grown like 6,000 or 7,000 people in the last, 3 weeks. And which is in turn grew my community, opened up tons of messenger conversations, sales, just a bunch of different dynamics. I really haven't had to do any extra work because I've already been creating TikToks for a really long time. So yeah, that's a cool approach. I actually just did a training about that in my private buyers club last week. How I've been using Reels and Facebook Reels to explode results on Facebook. It's a completely new dynamic, because prior, growing your audience on Facebook, you'd have to go into other groups, you'd have to nurture relationships, engage with people, add friends. But leveraging the short form video content can actually just pull them to you, right? They're following you, they're interacting with your posts. A lot of them are a lot colder, which is okay. You just have to nurture them a little bit more, and that's a big thing, is understanding that if you have somebody coming off of a TikTok video or even a Facebook Reel, that the chances of you closing a $2,000 sale within the first few days is pretty small, right? You have to nurture that audience. You have to build. The customer journey is real. You know what I mean? You have to build that relationship. So that's also why I recommend having a group and a community, so that way you can get them into your Facebook group and you can kickstart that process of building that relationship. So that way in a couple of weeks, that person who was cold and had no idea who you are, they now know who you are. They know your business. They know what you're all about. And now they're ready to buy because you've already kickstarted a journey with them, and you're actually building a relationship. You're not just pitching them an offer as soon as you become friends or as soon as they get into your ecosystem, right? And if the customer journey is getting longer and longer, especially right now, right? There's more information out there. There's more opportunities. There's more garbage. There's more weird, unethical things going on. So people are getting more and more skeptical of pulling out their wallet and buying programs, and they should be, right? There's a lot of trash out there. There's a lot of false promises. There's a lot of, misinformation. So people should be skeptical, right? But your job as a marketer, your job as an affiliate is to, at least what I teach and what I encourage everybody to do is, you're building a real business. You're helping people actually build businesses, right? And that can be one of the most powerful places that you can get to in your business is actually being able to say no to people, right? Not acting and operating your business in a position that you have to say yes to everybody or that you will sell products to anybody, right? It also adds exclusivity in you and you as a business owner, that you can pick who you want, who you do and who you don't want to work with, right? And it actually makes running your business a lot more beneficial for you because you can cherry pick who you want to work with, who you think is actually going to put in the work, get results, and then your business is actually going to grow from that as well, right? Because that's a big thing in this space. When you're having success and then your students are having success, your brand explodes, right? Because that's tangible to other people. If they can see that your students are having success after working with you and all of these other things, that's a very powerful component to have in your business. And that's something I feel like a lot of affiliates miss because they don't look at it like that, right? They're chasing that next sale. They're chasing that next high ticket commission or that next $1,000 sale. And they're leaving their buyers or people that they have sold stuff to in the dust, right? And I would actually encourage people to do it the opposite. If you can build repeat business and you can prioritize those relationships with those buyers, even if they've bought something very inexpensive from you, the chances of them buying something again is going to be extremely high. I have students who bought multiple high ticket products from me, right? Like 3 or 4 high ticket programs for me because I've maintained those relationships, and I've prioritized continuing to nurture those relationships. And you never know what those are going to turn into, right? I feel like, and I'm totally rambling, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. But, I see a lot of people that burn bridges, right? They'll move on and jump to the next sale, or they'll burn these relationships with people when you never know what it could turn into, right? I had one of my students that I was working with for a long time. She ended up moving into a completely different industry, completely different thing. She was, I guess, not a different industry. She moved into setting up affiliate programs for companies, right? That's what she started doing. And she landed a huge contract with this company. But since we had this prior relationship, she reached out to me and we ended up collabing and doing this partnership, right? Where we were doing this together, right? And that's the beauty of this online space, especially the longer that you get into it. The potentials for different ways to make money, they're all over the place, right? It's not so black and white. You can monetize in so many different ways. It's crazy, right? It's makes getting all of these income streams coming in, makes hitting your income goals and going full time and, breaking through and leaving your day job incredibly achievable, right? So I know I'm totally rambling, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. If not, I will wrap this up. It's been going for about 40 minutes and I probably would bore everybody just on a tangent. But yeah, so yeah, if anybody is just starting, that would be my recommendation. Go all in with Facebook, right? That's where I had my success. That's where I personally had my breakthroughs, right? I was showing up consistently in my business for a really long time, right? And you hear that all the time. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. And that's what I was talking about earlier, where you can post content and you can be consistent on a lot of other platforms, but you could still not get results. And that's the reality of the situation. I really didn't start to see success until I started leveraging Facebook. And I focused on learning marketing and sales, and devoting my energy into actually bettering that instead of like looking for a system or the next funnel or the next strategy that was going to make me, the next thing that was going to make me money, right? There's no plug and play stuff, in my opinion. Be better off focusing on learning strategies, skills, the fundamentals of business, because it's going to explode your results later on down the line. Last question: when going live on Facebook, like your Q&A section, how much notice do you give? Usually, so I either do a live training or a Q&A or a interview every Wednesday, usually at about this same time. So that's usually when it will be. It's usually this same exact time, same day of the week. But yeah, usually every Wednesday. For the affiliate funnel, I saw that there is a freebie download to get the email address. Do I have to make a freebie first before I get the link? Oh, before I give the link. Yes and no. Realistically, with an affiliate funnel, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It doesn't have to be this drawn out advanced process, right? You can virtually build out an affiliate funnel in 10 minutes and not have, you don't have to have a lead magnet even if you don't want to, right? And a lead magnet it could be anything. It just depends how you're positioning what you're doing. Getting on your email list could be the lead magnet. And then, you can leverage resources or anything like that, ebooks, look for something that's already done, right? So usually the way that you would deliver that, though, for this specific question would be you'd have someone go to your funnel. They would enter their email address in, and then you would redirect them to like a product, and then you would send them the lead magnet in their inbox, right? So that way you're getting exposure, you're getting the email address, you're getting exposure to a potential product that you're selling, and then you're still delivering the lead magnet inside of the email, right? That would be my recommendation for delivery if you are doing that. So that would be a way for freebie download to get email address. So you would need to have the lead magnet or the freebie first. I could give you a couple depending on what you were promoting. I do have a few that have worked well. And then if you're doing it on like Facebook, because you don't need a funnel. If you're doing Facebook, you can virtually do all this stuff with your Facebook profile and Google Documents. You don't need funnels. You don't need all this other tech. You can literally just send it in a Google document, get exposure to your links, open up a conversation, and potentially present an offer. Do you recommend a bonus for buyers to get more sales? 100%. So that is a crucial aspect of having success with affiliate marketing, is actually having an offer of your own. And what I mean by an offer of your own is bonuses. You definitely need to have bonuses, right? If you don't want to get the reality is if you don't want to get results like everybody else, you need to sell something that nobody else is selling. And the majority of people in the affiliate marketing space are not getting results, right? I don't mean to say it like that, but the majority of people will start and they get stuck, and they don't break through. And a big thing of that is actually having a unique offer of your own. If you're promoting value ladder products or less expensive products, obviously don't go very heavy on the bonuses you're offering. But if you're in the high ticket space like me, if you're selling something expensive like I do, you need to have something different. You need to have something of your own. You need to have coaching, consulting, physical products, physical bonuses, books, resources, softwares. Having an actual offer of your own can literally eliminate a lot of the competition, and it can do a lot of the heavy lifting, right? If you have an offer that makes people feel like it's a no-brainer, people will literally ask you for that because it's like, why wouldn't I buy this, right? So an example of this right now, I'm running a promo for my 6-day fast start process, right? and I'm offering lifetime group coaching, 8 weeks of one-on-one coaching and a bunch of other stuff on top of the product that I'm promoting. So if there's no lead magnet needed, if I have a bonus, it depends, right? Depends what your sales process is. If your only goal is to get the email address and then attempt to sell an email, then you probably want to have both, right? You have a lead magnet to capture the email address, and then you're going to follow up with your sales process and present your offer with your bonuses inside of email. No matter what you're doing, I would recommend you always have bonuses. Always have an offer of your own. Package whatever you're promoting, package your product. You have your product that you're selling, put some stuff on top of it that makes it unique to you. And then however you're selling it, however you're planning on selling it, is you're going to be selling that offer. So, you can do lead magnets. You can do, it depends on the way that you want to go about selling it, right? You don't even necessarily need a lead magnet. Anything can be a lead magnet, a Facebook post, a Q&A, a video, anything can be a lead magnet virtually. So, but anyways, I'm going to wrap up this call. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them and I will get them answered. I'll respond to a comment, and yeah, you guys have a great day.